best of 3. In the top right we have herO, in the bottom left we do have creator, and the map is Starchild, which has these purple gas bases on those very harassable locations. But they're there, and they're actually a little bit out of the way, so you could go for hidden bases. And yeah, so let's see how this is gonna play out. Now let's go back a tiny bit here into that last game. We saw that Dark utilizing those Nidus worms, and Chief Battery was talking about you don't like it that they don't need to be placed on creep anymore. I kind of feel the same way. While I like the idea though of like the lore issue or something, that makes sense, right? You can place them anywhere. I don't hate it, to be honest. But I feel like the Nidus Swarm is definitely, it's a different use. It's like an harassment tool, right? And you're correct in saying they're basically like the overload drops. So yeah, I kind of agree that Nidus Swarms might need to have a little bit of a different thing to them, you know? If they would be only, or like no, only on creep placeable, I feel like we probably wouldn't see them ever. But they should have their place. I don't know, it's a difficult thing to balance, I guess. Now what are we looking at here? herO is going for a 1-gate expand, cybernetics score there, and on the other side it's gonna be the 2-gate from creator here. He's gonna let that zealot finish. Creator of course did see things, so he knows it's only 1-gate. Now, is Creator, herO going into that early Stargate? Yes, he is actually going to do so. Creator will find this, most likely. And he can counter Stargate. Now, is he going to do so? Is he going to cancel the sentry? Counter Stargate? herO is going to throw down a pylon. He lets the sentry finish. The sentry also was seen by the pylon. Now the pylon is going to get cancelled. That is a tell. So as herO, you know at this point that there's not enough gas that Creator could catch up in the Stargate. So even if he throws down a Stargate at this point, there's going to be a 1 Phoenix lead for herO, whatever happens. And Creator is not even going to go for it. He says, alright, you go Stargate, I just go Nexus units. Okay, I wonder how he's gonna play this. I feel like the Stargate should be vastly superior, and herO is just gonna, he's gonna take the bait and he's gonna say, alright, Oracle time. Now, Creator just goes for the Twilight and says, okay, I'm not gonna dabble into Phoenix versus Phoenix issues here, we're not gonna go there, and you're not gonna arm race, and you don't get to be as powerful as you think on the map. Because, so, one thing, let's say you're the Stargate guy, right? And you go Oracle. You go 1 Oracle, you go maybe 2 Oracles. You have the harassment tool named Oracle, right? Which is gonna be nice. But you also, if you go then and try to utilize your Stargate into a superior air fleet with Phoenixes, right? So you can lift the enemy units and engage in smaller numbers and try to snowball your own army. It doesn't work that well if you commit to different Stargate units first, because your own snowball is a little bit too slow. And if you have your opponent not go for the Stargate at all and just immediately go into a Stalker bulk with Blink, the Phoenix snowball is almost impossible to make happen anymore. So this is what I kind of like about Creator being so decisive, but this is also very decisive here, coming in with the Oracles to just kill the army here, and he will get every unit. Now, a couple of Stalkers have been rewarped, that Zealot is stuck behind the Stalker here from herO, but the Oracles are dealing so much damage here to Creator. Now, he still is gonna clean this up, and that recall is only gonna save 1. Oh my god, I can't believe it, he needed to pull a probe there. That Stalker should have been dead. Now both players going into Blink We still do have 2 oracles though. They're both alive and they will have utility beyond reason. Robotics facility on the way here for Creator as he identifies the need for some detection in case your opponent goes for DTs. Well, you don't just want to die, right? So you need to get an observer out. herO, of course, with the oracles has the revelation, he has the dance, he has the stasis traps. So he has a lot of utility and he has still the harassment potential. So he always keeps a few units kind of forced back at home. Because he went for 2, the shield battery is not going to cut it. Even 2 shield batteries, like 10 shield batteries are not going to cut it. Because you can't just one-shot. Now he's going to set up a few stasis traps, maybe you can deny the space. I think the answer should be yes. Now Creator is going to come in, he of course doesn't know about these traps, and yeah, he has to cancel. And as long as herO just stays around here, he's going to be safe. Now he has this warp-in pylon, and he's going to warp in more and more units. Is he going to break Creator already? I don't feel like this should be a possibility, but if you look at the army count here, 2 oracles and 13 stalkers to 8 stalkers, he doesn't have luckily energy on those oracles for Creator, I guess. But he can still use them in a fight. He can bring them to the front line, he can use them to hit stalkers, he can maybe warp in a stasis trap in the midst of the fight. So that shield battery is going to be unpowered here. And this is the moment of truth there for herO, but he does not have enough units. He does have his counterblink though. He's like, alright, I'm retreating now. Now you come and get me, bro. But as soon as the Immortal does show up, this push is gonna get halted. And we did see the oracles did come in here and kill 5 more workers. Is he gonna recall them or is he gonna keep them here? Still warping in offensively. Why didn't he get a gate? He's also going into a Thought Nexus. He should probably get into his charge. There we go. And we will probably see a Forge. Oh, my man. Being thrown down here very soon. Now, Forge already finished up here for Creator, but he doesn't have the money currently as he's chrono boosting out these Immortals to try and keep himself here after losing so many Stalkers. And yeah, he's kind of forced to go into units over upgrades currently. Even though he already has the infrastructure. He's going to lose the first Immortal here, being blinked at top of. That second Immortal is still there. Going to touch a few of those Stalkers into death. But this is again the time when the Oracles shine. Another double kill here. 2 more workers fall. Tiny leads here. Look at that. He lost 1 worker to 14. 1 Zealot to 0 and 13 Stalkers to 11, but then he killed 2 Sentries, an Adept, an Immortal, and a couple Pylons, so yeah. herO is doing great so far. So should probably throw down his Templar Archives very soon. The 3rd base is looking very healthy at this point. He's actually gonna grab a 4th base here, potentially, in the south. Now, I wouldn't hate a recall on these Oracles at this point. They're just kind of boxed in. And eventually want to have them again to set up some stasis traps defensively or just across the map. Now Temper Archives, as was foreshadowed, is on the way here. On the other side, we are still working on charge for Creator. So Creator is falling further and further behind. He's so far behind in economy at this point. He doesn't know about this setup. The only thing he's up is basically robo units, right? So this is the advantage. He has more units at this point, which can actually fight, except for the Zealots. But the Immortals here, these 3 Immortals are his backbone. That's his advantage. He's finally going into his own Templar Archives. Is he just gonna go into like a 2-base push timing? A max on 2 bases and just try to win? That could be something. But we see herO already thrown down a 4th base, man. He's just playing normal style. Just say, alright, let's go, Archon, Zealot, and I still have my Stalkers in front of your base. And if you ever come out, we'll dance at my home with my bigger army. +1 is gonna complete, charge is gonna complete. Is this the timing for Creator? He's gonna have that Warp Prism now. Do you see a revelation? Couple of revelations actually. And herO is still like trying to see what he can. He saw that Forge was spinning. Great is just waiting for more and more units. He needs to make a few more pylons, actually. This is so weird, man. He's about to break out of this. I don't know when is the moment of truth is gonna happen. But the first Immortal Shield is gonna get triggered. And herO is saying, alright, you're about to break out. We set up a few defensive structures around my bases. And he's just keeping the army at home. He has a couple sentries for Guardian Shields. That should be... Great is actually going into +2. Is chrono boosting this now? Does herO see this? Yeah, he sees this as being chrono boosted. So he knows, like, you're waiting for another upgrade. I have time. So he throws down his own robo at this point. He's making more and more Zealot Archon. And he's grabbing this base here, getting that saturated now. Transferring some of his main workers. Now, he never made too many workers. He's only sitting at 59. And it's not that much more than you need for a 2-base economy, which is 44 here for a red Protoss player, but... This is like the most stalematey game I've seen in a long time. Where like, Creator is so happy to sit on these 2 bases just maxing out. He's just maxing out. He's maxing out and chrono boosting his upgrade. His one single upgrade. That's all he's doing right now. It's like, we're like in Brood War Terran right now. Brood War Terran territory. I mean, look at the army. 4 Archons, 26 Zealots, but this is a big deal. 40 Zealots. I take the chance with herO at this point. He's up in worker and army supply, and finally created it push out. He's gonna take a 3rd Nexus. Just gonna take a 3rd. That's all you do? Now herO is smartly enough identifying his big lead, and he's just gonna throw down extra infrastructure. 6 more gateways. So we'll soon compare the gateway count. We're sitting at 6 to, oh my god, 6 to 10, and it's gonna be more, 12. It's gonna be like 4 more. So this will be 6 to 18 gateways. So there's no way for Creator to ever reinforce this push. And basically herO is gonna play with 100 and, I don't know, 80 supply army, because he can just reinforce so much. Even a Dark Shrine here. Getting all of the tech. And herO is like, alright, let's go, let's fight. Is he gonna throw down a stasis trap in the midst of the fight? I wouldn't hate to see it. He still has that one Oracle with the energy. Now, the engagement does go decent here for our red Protoss player, but as I say that, this is the big issue. The warp in potential here is just so much higher for herO. He just has so much more production. Look at this 3 Zealot warp in, man. Not gonna cut it. Now he's gonna clear these Immortals. Nice pick up there, but it's only Stalkers and Sentries, but he's still pushing against Immortal Stalker here and Prism. And there we see the next big warp-in of Zealots. It's never-ending Zealots. That's the big issue here for the red Protoss player. He just can't keep up. Gonna lose now the Immortals. He's gonna lose the last Stalkers. Gonna lose the base. Fake Colossi. Have no kills. Gonna run out now. And everything's falling apart. And Creator is just sitting at his home, at his desk. And he's saying, alright, let us create 4 army supply. Let us make 1 Archon. And look at that, he never saw any of this. I wonder if he checked it. Like, he's making 3 Archons now. Is he gonna indefinitely hold the ramp? He's gonna run out of minerals in the main. The hallucinations even ate a lot of damage, yeah. They tanked quite a bit there. And we see only Archons here, finally a few Zealots being warped in as well. The Wall of Archon! Trying to make it happen against the Wall of Zealot. Who can win? It has to be the Wall of Zealot. Is he gonna go for elimination? There we go. GG is gonna be called here. herO is gonna take that game. After Creator was sitting at 0 supply for like a minute. Crazy. That was that was BM. Maybe. But those guys really know each other. They have been like, you need to think that most of the Koreans do travel together when they come to these big events offline, and since they all kind of come from Seoul, herO by the way against herO, they kind of always are on the same plane, so they kind of stick together whenever they go to international events. And yeah, those two are good friends as well. It's difficult not to be friends for the Koreans, weirdly enough. But yeah, definitely. You can still see though, I can guarantee you, herO is one of the most polite pros though in the scene, and he will always, after the game in the lobby, he will always chat, like, he will always say good job, good work to his opponent. Every time. But he's emotional during the game, so when he gets down like that and out like that, he will sometimes just sit there and stare at his keyboard or like shout at the monitor for a moment or something. And then GG out. A true gentleman, indeed. But he's not very gentle to his PC or his setup. He's one of those guys who does the smash. You know, the keyboard smashing. Sometimes. Now this game is going to be different. There's not going to be that Stargate opening. And we do see double gate openings from both players. So this should pan out quite different than that early game here. And we kind of really have to wait and see what tech both players want to do here. And it kind of looks to me like double adapt here for both. So are we going to just go into Twilight for both players? Maybe, yeah. Robo there for Creator, even very fast getting that down. So Robo with double adapt kind of screams Prism to me. Goes into Prism, drops the adepts in, try to get some harass damage like that. Don't hate to see it. Here he's gonna place down a pylon here. And he will go into the double sentry. So yeah, this is also something you can just do. You can just go into the double sentry follow-up to spend your gas. Now Creator made a Robo, so he has to kind of commit to only one sentry and an adept. But that means, well, he's gonna be safe. He's gonna really chase down that probe. It's gonna be safe for time being. And can he actually kill these sentries? I'm not sure. I'm gonna see a sheep battery. Can herO even battery wall? Yes, he can with this setup. As you can see here, this is a full wall. But I agree, that setup just looks so weird. Now he's trying to kill these adepts, which is funny. The sentry DPS is just not enough. So 1 for 1 adept, and this guy does stay alive for now until it runs into the rest of the return he's here from Creator. This pylon was finished up, so no nexus. And with those adepts and that force field there on the high ground, this is gonna take a while to kill down the pylon. He's even gonna utilize that stalk and drop something, or he's afraid of something else, so he's pulling that into the main base at this point. He's not keeping that damage on the pylon here. And he simply doesn't know. I guess he knows. He knows about the base. It's gonna be a Robo, but this is what I was talking about. Sentry, a Stalker, and Immortal in a Prism, and 4 Adepts. Very Adept heavy here, still making more Adepts. It's actually warping them in here with that Warp Prism at this point. Are we gonna see a force field on the ramp thing? You can do that. You can shade your Adepts, and then just drop the force field on the ramp, shade them through the force field. Basically be in the main and have free reign over the main, and you force a recall, but look at that, no energy on the nexus. And indeed we do see the adepts make their way in. Oh, what? He's not gonna do it. herO does still not see the prism. Now he sees the prism, and this time I think he's gonna try to go for it. Oh my god, that Immortal blocked that for a half second. I was like, right, you're gonna You're gonna die, you know. Even warping in more sentries. That Stalker's sad. Now he's gonna go for the attack here, trying to just shade on top of the army. He's gonna try to kill these sentries, but the DPS from the adepts against sentries is not that big anymore, so not sure if that's the correct target here though. The Immortal is gonna go and start to clear down these armored Stalkers, and we do have a counter Immortal, counter Prism. There is 2 shield batteries, but no more energy. He has the recharge. There we go. He's going to utilize that now to try and keep his units alive here. He needs to micro that Stalker. Oh, yeah, he does lose 1, though. And I feel like herO is not really... He doesn't have the best time here. And his production might just not be on par. He is 1 gate down. That shouldn't be this big of a deal. I mean, good execution by Creator, I guess. He's going to break herO here. And he's just going to walk into the main with the elevator. I mean, he can probably kill the Nexus first. The big issue is this was never taken, so... it's literally 1 base all in here. So he's gonna kill that Nexus now. This is gonna make the both even in economy. herO needed to power up these structures even to get that warp in again. Now he does have 2 Immortals to 0. Can he click down the Stalkers? Nice micro here by Creator. A force field could be devastating. Still, there is this Prism. Oh my god, is he gonna lose that Immortal? Whew, that was close. He's gonna... I thought he would let 2 of the shades finish, but I guess he doesn't. He's gonna make a base at home. Why is he only flying the Prism back? That's so weird. This is a fake here. And it's a great fake, because he's bringing actually 2 to the front here. So, in the end, Creator will be forced to recall. He's... saving up for a Nexus, I think, right now. I'm really not sure why the Warp Prism is going back home. Oh, that's why. So he doesn't even need to recall. That's why. Look at that. And he has the Stalker. So herO is like, wait. I didn't see that he actually fully walled. That's why he brought back the Prism. Okay, so you saw that those are... the Immortals, right? So he's just gonna let the Shade finish. He's gonna only fight with the Adepts. I'm not sure about this because... man, herO has so many pylons, it's strange. I'm not sure about this, but it's kind of working for now. Now, the Immortals are dropping across the map, and we do see the rest of the Immortals come in here for Creator. Finally, the Prism is back at the front line. The first Immortal for Immortal did already fall. Another Immortal is gonna die here. This time for herO, and this guy is gonna get blocked by his own probes. This is looking very, very good for our Red Protoss player. He does have Immortal anchoring his home. And yeah, I think Creator has done it. He does lose the army, and technically herO is still alive, but he's like 7 workers down. And this economy is untouched. He can still throw down a Nexus at any point he wants to. He can still pressure this with the Immortal drop. You need to be careful though, you don't really want to lose an Immortal at this point here. Barriers there. Killing that Stalker is gonna reduce the damage on that Warp Prism now. We do see that Stargate, and if he can catch these Immortals with a Phoenix or something along those lines, well, yeah. You can also kind of prevent the pickup, right? If you have a lift, it can't get picked up. An unpowered cybernetic score is always kind of the saddest thing. An unpowered cybernetic score or unpowered Dark Shrine. Those are like the worst things to see. They're so sad. Now herO is moving out, and that's not the correct time to move out, it feels like. Only Stalkers are not gonna be enough for that defense against the double Immortal. But at the same time, herO is trying to kill Creator. Creator is trying to go for a Nexus here himself. Creator is just killing more probes for now. And if both end up in a base race, well, The defender usually has the edge, right? Now he has a Phoenix, he can lift an Immortal, and then he has 2 Immortal to 1. He's gonna lift the first one, and he's gonna try to shoot down the other one. Force field on the ramp is gonna prevent the rest of the units to come in there. 1 Immortal stuck down there, needs to get picked up, but already the Phoenix here putting on pressure on top of that Warp Prism. And we do see herO still kind of managing to break the army. But you can always recall these guys, and look at that. I mean, if he makes, keep on, make 1 more Phoenix, make a Void Ray or something. A Void Ray could literally win this fight. Now he kind of needs to kill this Stalker. Yeah, kill the Stalker, That's the tie. There we go, he kills the Stalker. You can recall this at this point. You don't need 2 Immortals over there. He's making this more difficult than he should. He has enough money or energy for a recall. He's only fighting with probes at this point. Oh, he gets the the probes around citizens arrest. And GG's gonna be called. Creator's gonna take. Creator's gonna take this game, yeah. The citizens do arrest the immortal Stalker. Luckily, there was no Zealot in that group. That would have gone south. GG. Alrighty. So we're looking at a 1-1 situation here. Hop into the next map. We do have in the top right of ley lines herO, looking handsome as always with that smile. And in the bottom left it is Creator. There's no picture of himself as the decal, unfortunately. Now, the last game we saw that double gate opening, and in the end herO did lose, but it felt like that was a game that was literally like 50-50. There were a lot of good calls from Creator in the last game, and he made a very good decisions there, how he engaged, and just his micro was very solid. So I feel like Creator was definitely playing a little bit better there. Or I guess identifying the correct situations is just utilizing the tools he had just well enough so he could win the game. herO was trying his damnedest to come back, but he was making a few mistakes. In the end, he didn't really have the map presence, he didn't have the vision, he didn't know what was going on behind, so this is more information you're lacking than your opponent. Since your opponent is already in your face and he knows there is no second base or something like that, and herO had to guess, right? And he didn't guess correctly, unfortunately, so in the end, he paid with his life there in the last game. Now this time we do see another 1 gate opening here from herO, and he was looking solid on that Stargate in the first map. So will he go back to that one? Or will we see a different tech? It's been a while since we've seen like a fast Twilight Dark Shrine commitment, for example. You can proxy a Dark Shrine, of course. It's not forbidden. It's within the realm of possibilities here. And even if your opponent goes for a sentry opening, well, there's the chance that he will just miss that proxy Dark Shrine, right? So you can potentially just whop in a few DTs and then win the game. But that is very risky indeed. It's a lot of money commitment. If your opponent goes for a Robo and has a Observer, well then you're all for that Stargate. You're gonna be in a pickle. Both players going into the Stargate this time. Now what did herO see? herO is still here. He saw the Stargate. He knows. What did Creator see? He's not here anymore. He saw 1 gate expand. He can assume Stargate, but he cannot be sure. I think if I'm Creator, you're kind of forced to go into Phoenix, is my feeling here, because you simply don't know what your opponent has. And Phoenix can still snowball army fights, so I wouldn't even hate it. But if he goes into Oracle or their Void Ray for a defensive setup, well, that's not gonna fare well against Phoenix. He's actually not making anything. There we go, he's gonna make a Oracle now. So yeah, this is gonna be good for herO. Oh. Now hero's gonna pull these Phoenix at home even, and he's gonna be very happy whenever he finds that Oracle push into his base. He's gonna kill it with the Phoenix, and then he's gonna fly across, and then he's gonna lift some probes. He might lift some units. My god, can this Adept run away? Yeah, it's gonna get away. But actually Creator going into Phoenix himself afterwards, and he used the overcharge, and he's gonna lay down a stasis trap at first. So maybe he has something that does make sense for this Oracle to be out first here. But I feel like this is more of an anti-robo strategies, how he's playing this. He's only going into one Phoenix, he's already going into the Twilight transition. We do see the robo on the other side, and only 3 Phoenix. Oh no, 4 Phoenix, excuse me, here, 4 herO. But yeah, if herO can catch these units, if he sees that there's an Oracle at any point of the game, well, he can deal so much damage. Now, information is king, and this is gonna be a great scout here for Creator. He will find these Phoenix, and he will know where they are, he knows how many there are, and he knows that he needs to be careful with these guys. He can pull them back. He can park them over a shield battery, he can park them over his stalkers. And herO is finally getting in with the first scout here in a while. He's just like, alright, I'm just gonna go for it. And he actually will get that Phoenix here. This is quite a risky move, but in the end it's gonna be fine here for herO. He's gonna lift a few workers, getting 6 probes is quite nice here. And he might even go for a Stalker. I don't think he should, because you don't actually know where the army is right now. So he's gonna try to go for another probe. Oh my god, can you please kill it? And the Observer to spot the Oracle. So he kind of knows the army pattern, where it's gonna move. He sees that Stalker as well. He's swapping in more units at home. How many units are we looking at? Oh, he has an Immortal. Okay, that should be fine. There's no Phoenix to lift the Immortal. That might have been the initial idea here from Creator, but it's not a thing anymore since the Phoenix died. So I think this defense already goes to herO here, having enough units at home. Now Creator grants himself map pressure, oh my god, map presence and map control. What is he gonna do with it? For now he's gonna throw down a Twilight Council, a Temple Archives. And he's not going into an additional Nexus at this point. Stargate. Just vacant here, not producing anything. An Oracle might be an interesting addition here. I mean, he still has tabs on the army with this beautifully placed Observer. See so much. Phoenixes say, alright, our defensive forces are great enough. We just go across the map and harass a little bit. There's a cannon actually now. He needs to be a little bit careful. Does not really want to lose that much health on those Phoenix. The Creator might blink into the main base here. Yeah? Phoenix out of energy at this point. While triple immortal is not something you want to engage into with only stalkers. And I like it. Creator is throwing down indeed a third nexus, is throwing down extra gates here for extra production. And he will have a tempo advantage. He even has feedbacks for those Phoenix, so yeah, lovely stuff. No more energy on those, and stalkers there for the catch. And one Phoenix to survive. And honestly, if he kills all of these Phoenix, you might even consider to remake one, because there's gonna be still that Oracle lurking. And if that Oracle always at any point gets behind his base, it's just so pesky, right? Now he finds the Oracle with a Phoenix, and he will most likely kill it here. Yeah, there we go. Definitely a little bit of a mistake here by Creator. It's gonna lose that just like this. And, well, does not manage to grab the last Phoenix. So, the Phoenix does prevail here. Now this Stalker group needs to be careful. because he cannot simply trade against those immortals. Now, Robo facility finally going online here for Creator. And he's kind of ahead in the Zealot Archon department, but he has no immortals himself. This is a little bit of a reverse from, what was it, Amygdala, I guess? Yeah, from the first map, right? Where we had herO with the faster charged Archon and 4 bases, but no immortals. Now, this game is different though, because herO is on a 3rd base already, and Creator was only sitting on 2 bases, maxing out basically. Now, this is also a little bit of a bigger immortal count than from Creator last time. It's 5. It's like so many. You almost can't count them on one hand. That's how many immortals there are. Just trying to move in here. Fake Archon already soaking the first shot there. One Archon flanking from the right there is gonna get evacuated into the prism, trying to create a front line for these immortals, but Archons against Archons. Stoke is trying to blink on top of things, but if herO just targets them now with these immortals here, and indeed he is doing so, in the end the immortals might just prevail, but there's no prism with this. And the Stalkers in the right and left are caught. These immortals are gonna fall. Man, is herO gonna lose this game here? In the end, the engage really turned on its head here. Double Archon. They're basically dead, but they're not technically kaput yet. They can still move. You see probes now coming to fight these immortals here. Zealots, so can they clear these Archons? If you can bring those Archons and heal them up, he kills all of the immortals with workers. If you can heal up these Archons at this shield battery, man, this is gonna be an insane trade here for Creator. Look at that, 5 immortals, 2 Archons to only 2 Archons to 4. Zealots almost even, Stalkers about even. Insanely good trade here for Creator. Look at the gas trade. It's 1,200 against 2,400. It's double the gas in total here. That was an insanely good trade here for our red Protoss player, and yeah, looking poised to take the lead here. He's behind a little bit in workers, but it doesn't really matter that much. He has a way bigger army. If he goes across the map now, just tries to push, he has a kill timing. Now in the bottom, these Zealots did get found, are gonna get chased out. These double Archons have been healed up. Love to see it. They're basically at full health again, right? So having Archons survive in those fights is actually very, very powerful, because they do regen most of their health, which is rare for Protoss units. And now we're looking at a 6 Archon push here from our red Protoss player. He's trying to close out the game. I feel like this is where he might make a mistake again. His actual win condition is to just make another Nexus. Expand. Make more workers. Try to out-trade. He has the +3 though. It's +3 against +2. It's about to finish up here. Anti-timing a little bit for Creator if he moves in now after the +3 finishes up. Well, herO finally now with his +3 completed is gonna go for it. Can he grab that Warp Prism? Warp Prism is gonna stay alive, it's gonna enable some micro here, juggling on those Archons. This army feels a little bit weak from herO. Can he still break this push? I don't think so. He's gonna pull back. And Creator is not actually chasing that hot so far. It's not in hot pursuit. Do see that shield battery is out of juice now. Tried to help in this engagement here. Creator splitting up his army a little bit. He has a big Archon force in the north and a little bit of a Zealot force in the south there. herO is trying to get his Archon healed up here in that shield battery, but the pylon did get killed, so those 2 Archons are extremely low. And Creator's just giving up this position. Wow, I can't believe it. He only killed 3 workers. He had like full potential. Only 1 zealot into that mineral line is gonna be enough to force, like, I don't know, all workers to die. Now he's gonna throw down a 4th nexus. So I think herO is playing this, Creator's playing this a little bit too conservative, too safe. He's going in with these stalkers only, which are basically the most mobile unit, right? They can just blink out. And herO's army is growing again. He went all in, won the fight, and then went home. I don't get it. Yeah, indeed. That's why it looked like, right? He went kind of all in. He won the fight. I mean, he's in an even or even better situation at this point, right? But the armies are starting to even out, and his lead is starting to go away. It's only it comes down to engagement at this point. 5 zealots, 3 archons, no stalkers, and he's down in immortals, I guess. But it feels like the armies are very even at this point again. And he didn't kill this base, which I don't get, because he had the position, right? He had literally, his army was standing here, and he was waiting for the engage, for herO to come and engage into him, so he could collapse onto the army and just finish the game. But then he's like, no, I don't do it. Oh, he's even catching this hidden base. That's a great find. Insta cancel here by herO. herO identifying this situation, say, alright, I need another base, but he just couldn't get one up. Tried to get a sneaky one, and that also didn't work. Now is he gonna try to go for this base? Might be an option. With that purple gas. Now this is the win condition herO is creating for himself. Double disruptor coming in here. It's not there yet though. Oh, he already has 2. My bad. He has 3 exactly. So yeah, if he can get some good connections here, this battle is gonna swing so fast. Only gets a few units there with the first Nove, so not really what he was looking for. 1 kill and 1 kill. But this guy might be better. He's gonna get 2 kills, I guess. He was better, technically. Wow, there you go. So far, nice dodging, but this is gonna be very difficult now to engage here for Creator. And as much as I like this lead, it feels like it's mostly gone at this point. He's engaging not in a correct situation here. He's trying to snipe these... Oh my god, these disruptors, but in the end the recills are just too strong here, and 4 disruptors at this point. He lost 1, but that's fine. Are just gonna be too much, and they're good against Archons. Don't get fooled by Archons being able to survive those shots. They're almost unable to dodge those shots at all though. That's the issue, that's why they are surviving. Chasing with disruptors is of course always a little bit difficult, but if you can box in your opponent, I mean, what is he gonna do? Recall? Well, that's when disruptors shine the most, right? Now the shots are getting fired here, and you can see like 3 Archons being deleted. Zealots trying to come for a flank, but 1 disruptor enough to clear most of those as well. And that Warp Prism is gonna try to be the saving grace here for Creator, but I feel like the writing's on the wall. herO is just gonna take the game like that. Creator, man, throwing, what a throw, honestly, what a throw. He had the lead, he had the chance to just kill, and then he just doesn't. That was very, very much a throw, indeed. Alright,